All right, welcome back. How about those federal judges? How did they get their jobs? Let's find out. Okay, so selecting judges. It's important to note first that this is the president's longest lasting influence. I always love to give the example of Ronald Reagan, and this is, well, I guess I really can't anymore because technically Justice Kennedy just retired about a month and a half ago from when I made this video in August of 2018. But Ronald Reagan, his term in office ended January of '89. He passed away, I believe, in 2005. As of June of 2018, he still had a Supreme Court justice on the court that he nominated. As of 2016, he had 2 on the court. So this is an influence that lasted 30 years. It lasted well beyond his term, and it even lasted beyond his life. So that means that this is a monumentally important decision by the president of who he's going or she is going to nominate. Factors the president considers: their party identification and political ideology. So almost always will be somebody from his same party, especially for Supreme Court justices, and overwhelmingly for federal judges in general. Political ideology, so meaning liberal or conservative, again, likely to be the same as he is. Considers their judicial philosophy, which we'll discuss in a future video. Their qualifications, their age, their gender, their race, things like that matter. So you think about Obama, and he had made campaign promises about gender equality, and so both of the Supreme Court justices that he nominated were both women, so that's part of that. He also nominated the first Hispanic Supreme Court justice. So these things are important. Age is important because, well, this person gets that job for life. So you don't want to pick somebody that's 70 years old. They're really, really good and they're really qualified, but they're 70 already. When you could pick somebody that's also qualified and that you agree with, and they're only 48 or 50. I know that doesn't sound young, but if you stay on the court from when you're 50 to 80, that's 30 years. So they're going to pick somebody relatively young-ish. All right, so the president nominates, but he does not actually just give that person the job. The Senate must confirm. That means they can also reject. So in the Constitution, it calls this providing advice and consent. So the president nominates the justice. The Senate investigates them. The Senate Judiciary Committee specifically, they hold hearings, and that's what you can see here. These are 2 pictures of the Senate Judiciary Committee holding their hearings on Sonia Sotomayor, and asking her anything they want, and she sits there for hours and hours and answers their questions, and then they decide whether they want to approve that nomination or not. All right, so this is kind of going outside of that nomination and confirmation process, and it's called recess appointments. By the way, this is constitutional. It is in the Constitution specifically allowing these. So this is where the president nominates judges while Congress is recessed. So they are not in office at that moment. So they have recess, whether for a holiday, for the end of the term, whatever the case is. At that time, the president is allowed to nominate judges, and they automatically get the job right then. Sometimes this is used by presidents to fill court vacancies with judges who the Senate may not confirm otherwise. So he might have somebody that he thinks is really good, but he's like, man, the Senate's not going to confirm them. He can do that over a recess appointment. The major difference, though, is the 3rd bullet point. They don't get the job for life. If they receive their job through recess appointment, they serve for 1 year and then must be confirmed by the Senate within that year to remain a federal judge. So they do still need to be confirmed. So this is a small loophole. It's not a gaping loophole because they ultimately do need to be confirmed, or they don't get that job. They don't get to keep that job anyway. All right, so we have a term here, litmus test. So thinking science, we decide whether something is a base or an acid by a litmus test. Well, this is similar. It's a test of ideological purity. So the president wants judges who are going to be ideologically similar to him. So President Bush, he wanted conservative justices. There really shouldn't be a picture of Scalia there. It should be the other 2. That's Alito on the left, and that's Justice John G. Roberts on the right. But you want somebody similar. So do they have similar ideas on death penalty, on abortion rights, on affirmative action, on privacy rights, He wants to make sure that the person he puts on the court will be similar and rule in a way that he would agree with. All right, again, we've mentioned this and we're going to talk about it still more. Supreme Court justices have tenure. That means that they serve a life term. They cannot be fired or have their pay reduced. They can be impeached, but that's for crimes. That's not for, a decision that the public doesn't like. So, life term, that is going to help make sure that they maintain their independence. Now, going along with that idea, because this is such an important decision, justices often choose to retire, and this is called a strategic retirement. So they retire when the president from their party is in power. So they want to be replaced by a Democrat or they want to be replaced by a Republican, so they will wait. So Anthony Kennedy was nominated by Reagan, and he retired in 2018 when Trump was president, so he could be replaced by somebody ideologically similar to him. John Paul Stevens here on the left-hand side, he retired when Obama was president because he wanted to be replaced with a liberal, and so Obama replaced him with Elena Kagan. You would really not want to be replaced by somebody opposite of you because they might come in and immediately start undoing the work that you had been doing for 20, 30 years. These pictures make me so happy. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe if you haven't already. My God, these are the best moments ever. This has been a LaMoney production. Look at that boy, Ray Allen. Ray Allen for 3. Boom!